Just a poor effort from the San Jose Sharks as they end 2024 with yet another loss.
You're Locked On Sharks, your daily podcast on the San Jose Sharks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, welcome to Locked On Sharks, the premier hockey podcast of your favorite lovable losers in the Bay Area. My name is JD, caretaker at the Reef, also the co-host of Locked On NHL's Tuesday's episode with Seth. I want to thank you for making Locked On Sharks your first listen. Proudly part of the Locked On Network. We cover your team every day, even when they lose 8 straight games and get shut out to the Philadelphia Flyers. So if you want to be an everydayer, all you have to do is just follow along wherever you get podcasts, or you can watch on YouTube as well. And today, we're going to be discussing a poor effort from the Sharks. Georgiev living up to his nickname of Forviev. Macklin Celebrini doing everything he can. Dig into the numbers behind this game, and just, again, the Sharks' inability to create any offense, and try to come up with some New Year's resolutions for the San Jose Sharks going into 2025. So let's start, I think, with the big overall thing from this game. It was just effort. And the Sharks just did not have the effort that you would hope for. And what felt like a very winnable game. And I know the Flyers have been much better than expected this year, but still, like, this was, especially with what the Sharks have faced, this was kind of the easy game that the Sharks had recently, right? You've been playing some of the top teams in the NHL recently. And while the Flyers, again, have had a good season, especially compared to expectations heading into it, just to not be able to just scrounge up any sort of offense in this game was disheartening. And they're just, other than Celebrini, there was not much of a performances in this game really worthy of talking about, at least trying to highlight. It was just a lot of guys not just kind of packed it in early in this game. And I think, who knows where it started, if it just they weren't ready to play, if you've lost 7, now 8 straight games, if you're just aware of that kind of coming. You're also down to your best players in William Eklund and Jake Walman, who are not available in this game. There was a lot of factors, but still, this team just has not been able to get the offense out of gear. And I think once Georgiev let in that really soft one early in the first, that kind of might have just really sunk the team there, and just unable to kind of bounce back from there. And they did have their moments here and there. And like I said, I think Celebrini had some highlight worthy moments in this game, and Will Smith had, a really nice pass to Celebrini, and those two, that line continued to kind of create offense. But right now, if that line isn't doing anything, the Sharks team just cannot generate offense at the moment. So I think that was the biggest thing, and the most frustrating part about this is it just felt like there was no fight. And that was the thing we've seen from this team so much earlier in the season. It's just that never say die attitude, right? They're going to keep fighting. Yeah, they're going to lose games, but they're going to kind of keep fighting and keep being in every game. And this game, it just felt like this. Once it got 2, 3, the Sharks just, it felt like they had no response, and there was just no way that this team was going to actually generate any offense in this game, and they didn't. And that is why they have now lost 8 straight games. They're 1-8-1 in their last 10 here. It has been a brutal December for them, and luckily they can turn the page here and have Tampa come, followed by New Jersey, followed by Vegas. So 3 more really tough games before they do get a bit of they go on the road here middle of January, and you wonder if that's like maybe a good chance for them to kind of reset here in this kind of extended road trip for them. But still, it's been a tough stretch for them this December, and something I think Ryan Warsofsky and the group are going to have to try to look at who is not really maybe kind of pulling their weight. I know again, you are missing Eklund, top six winger, Jake Walman, who is clearly your best defenseman. And Walman really helps with a lot of the Sharks' issues of just unable to get the puck out of their own zone. But you want a better performance than what you saw from them tonight. So we did have a nice we did have the Mitchkov versus Celebrini bowl number 2 in this game. And while neither player got on the scoreboard, uh I and it's probably the teal colored glasses me. I did think Celebrini had a more impactful night, um, where I think he created more opportunities for himself. Mitchkov did have a couple nice ones, but it felt a little more, I don't want to say cherry picking, but maybe a little bit. Like he did have like a breakaway there, where he wasn't able to score on there, and Celebrini had a couple opportunities that he wasn't able to score, including hitting a crossbar. He had one that went through the goalie's like arm. It just kind of trickled, but wasn't able to get across the line. I do think though, like a lot more is asked of Celebrini. It's pretty clear that a lot more is asked of Macklin Celebrini compared to Mitchkov. But yeah, neither one was able to get on the board tonight, so we don't have. I guess we can call it a draw tonight. So it'll be this will be kind of a fun little rivalry. I know they don't get to play each other. They only play each other twice a year, but should be a fun kind of rivalry to keep track of as these two guys continue their growth and development. But overall, though, just poor effort. And Gorgiev, he did make a couple nice saves here and there, but just another kind of tough night from him. Again, the offense didn't help him out at all, and the Sharks just were unable to generate quality chances tonight. And we'll dig into more of that here in a second. But that first goal that Gorgiev gave up, like you can't let that goal in. Like that is a bad goal to let in. And then I felt like things kind of unraveled from there for him. So and I know people are gonna be like, well, why did you start Askarov? Like, you can't start Askarov every game. Like Gorgiev, especially until Vitek Vanecek comes back, you can't start Askarov every game. Like it's not fair to him. It's not fair to the 22-year-old goalie to start him every game. You have to play Gorgiev as well. And the Sharks have been very like, we're going to take turns with the goaltending. It's not fair to Gorgiev. Honestly, it's the worst thing you can do to him, to Askarov, is to continually throw him out there behind this team and ask him to be Superman every night on a team that just cannot score goals right now. I know I want to watch Askarov too, but like I think it would be the worst thing for his development is to just continually throw him out there every game. And just you invested a lot in him. He's gonna be your goaltender of the future. It's pretty clear that, like, from what we've seen from him, that he is very good and he is the Sharks' best goalie right now. But you can't start Askarov every game. He's gonna get hurt. You're gonna ruin his confidence. It's not a smart thing to do. So, especially in a season where it's the season, like, you're already looking at the 2025 draft, and right, you're trying to see who is going to be part of this next team, this next kind of core of players. Throwing Askarov out there right now every night is a terrible idea. So we'll dig into the numbers of this game, talk about kind of how the Sharks were just so unable to generate quality chances in this game, as the Flyers did a really good job of kind of keeping them along the outsides and just I think that's what a big thing for the Sharks tonight was, just they could not generate quality chances. So we'll dig into that here in just 1 second. The NFL playoffs are almost here, but it's not too late to get in on the regular season action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, because right now, new customers can finish the season strong with $250 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. FanDuel has so many ways for you to pick up a W. I love betting on which players will score a touchdown and how many points each team will score. It's thrilling. Not only can you bet on who's going to win the game, they've also got points for each team. Like I said, which players are going to be scoring touchdowns. Many fun props. And if you just visit fanduel.com and join today, that's fanduel.com for your chances at $250 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. All right. Before we finish up, I'm going to talk about what the numbers say. And of course, trying to make some New Year's resolutions for the San Jose Sharks. Do want to, of course, thank you guys for making a Locked On Sharks your first listen. For your second listen, go check out one of the other great shows. You have Locked On Fantasy Hockey. If your team needs some help, who to add, who to drop, start, sit, all that fun stuff, they've got you covered there. Or check out one of the other shows here in the Bay Area. Locked On Niners, Locked On Warriors, Locked On A's, Locked On Giants. We are a fun group of lovable losers in the Bay Area sports right now. So you can find any of those podcasts wherever you listen to this one, or of course you can watch on YouTube as well. All right, the numbers behind this game as the Sharks lose 4-0. About 52 minutes of 5-on-5. 52 to 45 shot attempts in favor of the Flyers. Like, not too bad. Corsi for 53.61 to 46.39. Actual shots, so at 5-on-5, 28 to 19 in favor of the Flyers. Flyers did a really good job of blocking shots and kind of getting in the lane and making it difficult. Scoring chances, 33 to 14 in favor of the Flyers. High danger chances, 13 to 4 in favor of the Flyers. Expected goals for 2.84 to 0.81. Expected goals in favor of the Flyers. The Sharks could not generate quality chances tonight, and that is a huge reason why they were shut out. They just couldn't get to the front of the net and tried to make life difficult for both the goalies for the Flyers. And I don't care who you are. It's a hard life to live if you're just not getting to the front of the net and not getting into the slot and not you're just kind of keeping your shots along the point shots along the outside or like outside the faceoff dot. It's a hard life to live to try to score out there. And maybe you might get one occasionally, but the Flyers were just much better at just getting it to those dirty areas and getting to the net and creating havoc that way. And that's why they scored 4 goals tonight, and the Sharks scored 0. So I think that's going to needs to be a big emphasis. And I know this team is down 2 of their best players in Walman and Eklund, but like you have guys like Cunnin and Goodrow and some of these other like guys who are supposed to be kind of, Wenberg, who are supposed to be kind of your go to the net and crash the net type of guys, and just couldn't do it tonight, unfortunately. So, yeah, tough night for the Sharks. So, looking at the forward lines for San Jose, Zetterlund, who was a game time decision, but of course played. Celebrini Smith played 12-31, 10 to 14 shot attempts. Actual shots was 7 to 7. Expected goals for 0.12 to 0.64. 1 scoring chances to 8. 0 to 2 high danger chances at 5-on-5. And that line right now is your best line. And they could not generate that. Like, they had a couple opportunities here and there, and Celebrini hits a crossbar. And like I said, he had 2 kind of chances that could have potentially been goals, but just wasn't their night. Klim Kostin, Mikael Granlund, Luke Cunnin, 11:43 time on ice, 12 to 13 shot attempts, 4 to 6 actual shots, 0.16 to 0.56 expected goals for, 4 to 11 scoring chances, 1 to 3 high danger chances. I'm curious to see if the Sharks did call up Colin Graff today. I'm curious to see if he gets a run with like Granlund for a little bit, especially if Eklund's going to continue to be out. Um, I know people if Eklund is still dealing with his undisclosed upper body injury. He has been kind of getting back on the ice, which is a good sign. Potentially could be available for Thursday. I know they put him on IR, but I assume it's going to be retroactive to his last game out. So that way he could be able to return here sooner rather than later. But yeah, I do think Colin Graff, for a team again that struggles to score right now, Colin Graff can at least like set guys up. Like you've seen him be able to kind of create some of those opportunities. And so I would like to see Colin Graff get a top six role because I think Colin Graff's one earned it, and I think two, he can really help the Sharks try to score some goals because this team needs all the help that they can get. So Nico Sturm, title injury, Barclay Goodrow, 704, 5 to 8 shot attempts, 1 to 4 actual shots. Did give up 2 goals, 0.06 to 0.7 expected goals for. 2 to 5 scoring chances, 1 to 4 high danger chances. Rough night for that line. And then Toffoli, Wenberg, Nikolai Kovalenko, 9-10, 9 to 4 shot attempts, 4 to 2 actual shots, 0.11 to 0.14 expected goals, 4 to 2 scoring chances, the 1 to 1 high danger chances. So just a tough night for the Sharks to generate offense. So as for the defensive pairs, they did kind of switch around a little bit in this game as well. But I know the numbers were not particularly pretty for some of these guys. Pulling up the defensive pair Corsi for right now. Mukmadul and Ruda did have a 60% Corsi for, 9 shots for, 6 allowed. Thren CC 53.357, 15 to 13. And then Ferraro Liljegren got their lunch taken from them, 8 to 15, 34% Corsi for. I do think Mukmadul, he has been building up some. Wasn't as good as I think as his last game, but I still think an overall pretty solid game for Mukmadul, and would love to continue to see him earn more and more ice time because I would just rather see him play some of the other guys. So as for Georgiev, 30 saves on 34 shots, 4 goals against, expected goals against 3.31, 882 save percentage, 4.0 goals against, 8 of 9 high danger, 12 of 12 mid danger, and 7 of 10 on low danger shots for Georgiev. So not his best night. We haven't really gotten like a solid to good Georgiev game yet. So I'm really want to see what happens when Vitek Vanacek gets back and the decision the Sharks are going to have to make because like if you say compete, and Askarov I think has been competing much more than Georgiev. We'll see, but it's not been a good transition for Georgiev to San Jose so far. So we'll get into some New Year's resolutions. It will be New Year's Day by the time you're probably listening to this. So some things that the Sharks need to try to work on this upcoming 2025, the rest of the season here. We're almost at the halfway point. It's crazy. We're almost at the halfway point. So we'll get to that here in just 1 second. I love going to live events, whether it's sports, music, theater, or comedy. One of my favorite memories was, of course, going to the Tank and watching Macklin Celebrini do Macklin Celebrini things. Now, GameTime has made it even easier to get tickets to your favorite events with their new feature, GameTime Picks. This feature filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. We used it recently to go to the game on Saturday. Great seats. Had a blast, even though the Sharks lost. Had a blast. If you want to go check out Celebrini, Will Smith, whenever Eklund gets back, you need to take the guesswork out of buying tickets with GameTime. Download the GameTime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, Create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONNHL, LOCKEDON NHL for $20 off. Download GameTime today. What time is it? Game time. All right, let's finish up. It is like 8:30 Pacific time. So New Year's is right around the corner, and came up with some New Year's resolutions for the San Jose Sharks. And the first resolution for the Sharks is get Macklin Celebrini the Calder. And I think he will win it. But that like you don't have a lot to play for. And I know it's team first, and Celebrini's always going to be like, we've already heard it from him. He's going to be a team first guy, but I think he's clearly the best rookie. And again, I am a Sharks fan watching the Sharks every night. Of course, I'm rooting for Macklin Celebrini to win the Calder, but put him in the position to do it. And I think the Sharks are. They're giving him a lot of ice time. He's getting a lot of opportunities. He's like, I don't see Celebrini being a type of guy who gets benched or gets healthy scratch for a game. Like, I think it would take a lot for Celebrini to do that. But the best way though is to let's get this offense going. You gotta get this offense out of gear, out of first gear, out of neutral, and get this thing going. And whether that's pulling up some players from the Barracuda who can help score, Daniel Gushin, letting guys like Colin Graff play, some Bordalo, whoever you deem worthy of coming up and being able to contribute. And also keep Will Smith and Zadro and keep Will Smith and Celebrini together, because those two are just magic whenever they play together. Let's get first resolution is let's get Macklin Celebrini in the Calder. So let him continue to cook this year. Let him put up outrageous numbers, point per game. Like let's do it. Let's be that guy, that team who has a point per game player as an 18-year-old. So that's the first resolution. Easy resolution. Just let him win the Calder. Second resolution is secure yourself a top 3 pick. And the Sharks are well on their way to doing this. As of tonight, I'm pulling up the tank standings right now. They are currently second behind Chicago. So it's Chicago. They have 26 points in 38 games. San Jose, 28 points in 40 games. And then Nashville, 29 points in 38 games. The good thing is the Sharks also right now have the regulation win tiebreaker. As a quick reminder, it goes points. If points are tied, the next thing is regulation wins. The Sharks only have 7 regulation wins, and they're 11. So sitting pretty good there. Nashville has 9. Chicago has 10. So if all those teams are tied, Sharks have the tiebreaker there when it comes to regulation wins. So and they've lost 8 in a row. So secure yourself a top 3 pick, especially in a 4-person draft. You want to, get one of those 4 guys. I talked to Matrone, Schaefer, Higgins, Misa. Go get one of those 4 guys, and that'll be kind of the last core top 5 pick for your team, and then you're good to go. That is my number 1. Number 1, let's get Macklin Celebrini the Calder. Number 2, secure yourself a top 3 pick in this year's draft, especially with 4 players. The next big resolution, you got to do something about this. Revamp this defense. And I know they're missing Jake Walman, and Jake Walman is a huge piece, right? And we know Miker has tried to retool it somewhat on the fly, right? Liljegren, Cody Ceci, he's added some pieces, but don't be afraid to if Mukhamadullin keeps playing well, let Mukhamadullin keep playing. If Cagnoni keeps killing it down in the Barracuda. Let Cagnoni get an opportunity. Like, don't let Cody Ceci and Jan Ruda and Mario Ferraro and some of these other guys who are on this team who are most likely not going to be part of your long-term future. Like, don't let them stand in the way of what is going to be your future, and getting some of these guys a taste of NHL action. And right, we know if Cagnoni comes up, maybe he lights up the world, but most likely he's probably going to struggle, especially, being a little bit smaller defenseman. He's probably going to struggle at first, but the learning experience for him is going to be invaluable, especially when he goes into this offseason. Muka Madulin, who I think has gotten better and better for the most part for every game, right? You supposed to be a big piece of your future. I think for him getting his confidence back and getting healthy, you're starting to see why the Sharks are really, really excited about his future. But don't let, like I said, don't let the likes of Ruda or like Cody Ceci or some of these other guys, like, they're probably not going to be here. So, and then finally, like, try to find some more. My last one. It's just like I'm gonna work. I did this last season, starting kind of in January, but with the trade deadline starting to kind of tick a little bit closer, try to find yourself another diamond in the rough type of player, like you did with Jack Thompson last year. Don't like getting picks is fun. Getting prospects who are close to being NHL players, that makes more sense for the San Jose Sharks right now, as you're trying to kind of add more of these pieces and give yourself more depth and more layers. So in case guys don't work out, you potentially have another option, right? As much like I want Cagnoni to work out, I would think Cagnoni is going to be awesome. If Cagnoni doesn't work out, it would be nice to have somebody else who could potentially play, right? If Madulin doesn't work out, if prospect X doesn't work out, you want to have some insurance, or at least right, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. And then those guys you can trade, have for depth, whatever. Just try to go find yourself another one of those guys, a player who underutilized somewhere else, maybe isn't going to earn a chance, and go get them and give them a shot, because I think you've had some success, right? Fabian Zetterlund, I know Muka was a high pick, but Jack Thompson, Colin Graff, who you were able to sign, like, go find a player. And again, that doesn't have to be like a top line player. Like, go find another one of those type of players. So those are kind of my 4 resolutions for the Sharks. And just be more competitive. We'll make it 4.5. Get back to being a competitive team like we saw in November. And again, you don't have to win every game, but just no more of these type of performances where we're just like, you're just disappointed with the team. So that's my 5 resolutions for the Sharks. I'm sure they'll have all of them done or quit by the second week of January, which I think there's like a National Quitters Day for your resolutions. I think it's like the 7th, whatever that Friday. There's like a Friday in January. But anyway, that's gonna be it for me today. Thank you to everybody who's tuned in and helped supported me. My biggest year yet on Locked On, and I couldn't do it without you guys. So thank you guys for everything you do, all the support. Even if this is your first episode, or if you've been listening since like day one, reading my stuff on Fear if you've been like a day one type of person, shout out to you. If not, if you found me some dumb way, I appreciate you, and you've been sticking around. I appreciate you as well. So thank you guys again. We'll be back for 2025, trying to make it bigger and better as we ride Macklin Celebrini's coattails to a much better future. So make sure we'll be back tomorrow. We're going to be doing a 2023 draft class, which is my career's real first draft class, and kind of digging into their seasons. So we're talking Musty, Colton, Smith, a bunch, everybody tomorrow's episode. So make sure you guys are following wherever you get podcasts. And of course, you can watch on YouTube as well. Follow the show on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Locked On Sharks. Follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky at My Fry Hole. Till tomorrow. Bye, friends.